What's up, Pirates? Wraith here with Awaken TCG, and today we're going to be going over the finals of the most recent championship series in Japan, and it is a RP Law mirror. Obviously, we know in OP08 this deck is the best deck in format, and it's having a generational run, beating even the likes of Sakazuki, even at their peak with the numbers that this deck is producing. And so, let's go ahead and watch this mirror match. I kind of want to see what the game plan is, and maybe we can learn something, as this is one of the decks I'm testing for OP07 over here in the West. I am currently between Anel, RP Law, and Lucci, and so uh, I want to see maybe if I can learn something, and so we're gonna be commentating over this match, and hopefully we can get a good grip on how we can improve in the mirror, because this is probably one of the worst aspects in my opinion about this deck is the mirror. So one Dawn, nothing happens. Two Dawn, nothing as well. And then, so 3 Dawn, they're going to go ahead and swing 8, the RP Law on the left. Obviously, you're never going to counter that out, so you take. Now you are on 4 Dawn. And it looks like both take the first hit relatively easily, which is probably warranted. I don't see why you wouldn't. Uh, Now, okay, so he just plays a Black Maria, which I think is going to allow him to neg and still stay pretty healthy on Dawn. He gets the Gordon out, plays the Law, goes to 0 Dawn with the -1, able to get 2 cards out of his hand and establishing 3 bodies on board, which is pretty nasty. He does the Black Maria effect up to 3 Dawn. Now we have the Law on the left side going up to, looks like 5 Dawn. The RP Law on the right doesn't have enough cards in hand for the other one to, use the Law back on him and get that effect off. And so I like that he's able to play that Gordon just to get cards out of his hand, just so it doesn't happen to him. Now it puts the RP Law on the left side in kind of a difficult position. If we look at his hand, he doesn't really have many options here. He can probably remove the Black Maria. He can potentially play a Sanji off the neg effect. Maybe he just plays the Law raw. And so it looks like he's going to play the Otama to get rid of the Law. And then he's going to Shachi and Penguin to ramp, which is not bad. But this Black Maria is, I think, just so much trouble. The RP Law on the right has the card draw in hand. So if I were to pick a favorite, I'm going to obviously pick the RP Law on the right instantly. Yeah, he can go Queen. And then he can even raid you the same turn, Black Maria, go back to 4 Dawn, which is nasty. This is double turns back to back where he's going to neg 4 and be so okay with it. In OP07, without a card like Black Maria, if you go neg 4 on one turn, you're losing out on so much momentum. Just you're not gonna recover from it. And here we are in OP08, just being able to go insane and neg, right? Yeah, I mean he's in such a good spot right now. He probably could have Rayjude, if I'm not mistaken. Opts to play the Sanji to develop the board a little bit more, uh, which I don't mind, because if he does raid you and then he takes a life, he's in that Law range, and I think that's what this matchup definitely is something you want to play around. Now the RP Law on the left again, he has the Gordon, right? He has the Gordon. He is on 6 Dawn. He can play a 5-drop, which he doesn't have, but he can play a Rush Zoro, put on a little bit of pressure. He can pop one of the 6K blockers, which is good, and then he can play his own Sanji. So potentially that's what he's aiming to do here. This is not a bad turn to go aggressive, clear board. Let's see what he ends up doing. He has a couple of options, but I think the best one might just be play Zoro, swing. Probably want to swing 6Ks, to be honest. So he's going 5 lead. He's trying to bait out a blocker here so he can, get a double KO. So RP Law on the right is going to take. Very aware that if he blocks with one of the blockers for free, it's potentially going to get attacked, killed, and then the other one is going to get um, deleted with the RP law effect, and so he just opts to take the life right. Um, Being in such a good spot, I feel like he doesn't have to worry as much as getting outed by like a sneaky kid killer or something. So it looks like he's going to swing 6 again, not wanting to use this blocker. The RP law on the left does still have 4 Dawn, and so that's a world of hurt, right? It can go crazy real fast. And so there's the Gordon onto the Sanji, and then he's gonna use one of the active Dons. He could have swung 7 on one of the swings, but it probably doesn't matter since he's gonna take one anyway. Uh, cheats out the Zoro, swings 8 at lead. Okay, very interesting here. Now with that pressure, it looks like the RP law on the left can actually have an out if he sees another rush character, a kid killer potentially. I feel like he'll be in a very good position. The one on the right has a lot of cards in hand. He can probably clear this board and establish another blocker. He's running the choppers. This mirror looks a lot more methodical when you're looking at it from an outside perspective than when you're actually playing it. RP on left only having 3 cards in hand, deciding whether or not he wants to block out this 5K swing. Very interesting. Very interesting. One of his units is for sure going to get spun. So he lets the Zoro go. Now, in my opinion, I think he lets it go because he's scared of a rush character potentially. And he's just like thinking maybe he's trying to get cards out of my hand and then he's going to kill it regardless. And so him just leaving it there means that he only has one target for him to swing at or spin, which is the Shachi Penguin. And so now he wants to protect, right? Knows he doesn't have any more swings. And if he's going to have to, if he wants to remove it, he's going to have to give me a reducer, which makes sense. 3 down for the chopper, 1 for the Gordon. And there we see the first Gordon being played by the RP law on the right. He's going to use the effect on the Shachi Penguin. And then, this Black Maria has been on the board since the beginning and has gotten so much value. Let's see what the end of his turn looks like. Oh, he's just going to pass. The Black Maria effect there didn't matter too much. He was already at 3 Dawn, and the opponent was at 3 Dawn as well. So using that effect was not going to have much of a use there. He's swinging 5 at lead again. Gives a 1K. Finds a queen. So he tops decks a queen. He's going to be able to draw 1 card here and get some good targets. He gets some good targets here. That Gordon can definitely do some damage. And then he has all 2Ks in hand, which, if I were him, I'm probably trashing the Otama. But obviously, he wants to keep that extra reducer in hand. That's also a 2K rather than the Gordon, which I don't blame him. He still has 1 extra life over the RP law on the right. But now this chopper is getting some insane value here. He's getting swung 6 at life, reducing the queen, and so he's either gonna have to, take the hit, use a 2K to block out, or you just block with the queen. And so I feel like him taking there was probably the wrong option because now he gets to get rid of the queen for free, which hurts, and he gets to use, a potential kid killer, which is probably the play. Just get him to no cards in hand. He opts to put a blocker. Now, I'm not sure if that's the right decision. He has the queen he can swing with. The RP law on the left has 2 bricks in hand. So if he would have just played that kid killer, he just absolutely wins. He's doing some math here, debating. RP law on the right has 1K counter. And so, oh man, if he loses because of that, I think he's doing a little bit of math and knows that with 1 block, he has 2 blockers up on the top. So regardless, I think he's just fine. He can block, swing 5, take 1, swing 6. He has a 1K, and so yeah, there's no way that both of his blockers get outed here, so he's fine taking this. And it is another break, but unfortunately, it's not gonna matter. And honestly, that law on the right going to, um, play that ST law first is just insane, right? I feel like him playing that starter deck, blocker law card and getting 2 cards out of the hand right away, establishing the Black Maria. So going -4 on your first turn and not having to worry about it because you're going back to your opponent's dawn was really what won him the match here. It was still really close at the end, but I think he made it a lot closer than it should have been. He could have just went aggro with one and then kept one blocker on the board, and it would have been a lot easier. He could have just played the chopper, swing 6 with queen, play the kid killer. Um, but yeah, regardless, these matchups are definitely very volatile. I think that's one of the things that I have to overcome when playing the mirror is just realizing, um, the potential that I can have on a comeback because a lot of times I'll, be on the back foot and then just feel like the match is completely over instead of trying to find different lines to succeed. But that is going to be it for this match. I know, not the most exciting mirror, right? Two best deck in formats going head to head. A lot of the times people don't want to see that. I remember when Sakazuki was top of the meta, people would just hated Sakazuki, and so people want to see low tier and fun decks. But I also want to learn, right? And I don't have much time currently, and so this was just an opportunity for me to learn something, show off a little bit of the gameplay for OP08. And we're getting bans in August, so potentially this might not even be our meta. So it's gonna be very, very interesting to see. But that is gonna be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching and enjoying my content. We're almost at 7,000, so if you're not already, go ahead and subscribe to our channel, like this video, comment down below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.